It's that time of the week again. Call the Bannerman. We have a new episode of Game of Thrones out right now. Um, Another day of no sleep, I guess. Staying up till 2 to watch this thing, getting to sleep at 3:30. Let's talk about this. I'm absolutely knackered, but I have 2 episodes of 2 different shows to get through, so let's get straight into it. This episode, shall I say, starts off really well. So Jon has come into Dragonstone with his crew. They've gone to see Daenerys to get that dragon glass. They need the help to defeat Cersei, but of course Daenerys isn't really having any of it. I feel like Daenerys is getting a better character. I mean, she comes across as a bit of an asshole this episode, but I feel like she's getting a better character, and I like her more than I did. And now that she's with Jon, I feel like this show's going to get a lot better. As always, spoilers. Should have said that before I mentioned what I did, but it'll be in the title. So if you didn't read that, it's your fault. You've got spoiled if you haven't seen it. So, immediately, Jon is reunited with Tyrion. As we know, they're pretty close. So it's nice to see the reunion. Dragon swoops past his head and he immediately jumps down. And it's like, yeah, if I saw a dragon, I'd probably do the same, but I'd probably do it in a much more cowardly way. So he handled it pretty well. And Tyrion says to him, I'd say you get used to the dragons, but you really don't. So, yeah, he goes in to see Daenerys, and she's there on her throne, acting all high and mighty, and she's like, you've come to bend the knee, haven't you? We can do this together. We can rule the Seven Kingdoms. Well, I can rule the Seven Kingdoms. You're just along for the ride. And Jon's like, not quite. I just want some dragon glass. And she's like, oh, well, maybe. So that's going on. And elsewhere, we have Cersei and Jaime. Cersei gets her revenge, which is pretty sweet to see. I mean, not really sweet to see, but it's sweet to see a cool scene happening with Cersei this season, because we haven't really had much. I mean, yeah, she's a bitch and we all hate her, but pretty cool anyway. Also, Euron Greyjoy and Theon Greyjoy has been found. Euron Greyjoy is being a dick as always. I feel like Euron Greyjoy is probably the worst character we've got so far. I mean, yeah, he's not like a terrible character, but the dialogue he has is pretty bad. He delivers it pretty badly. I'm not saying he's terrible. I mean, I saw the dude at Comic-Con this weekend, and he seemed like a really nice dude. I'm just saying those line deliveries are a little off. Like, there's a bit where he talks about putting a finger in a bum, and he says it to Jaime, and it's like, it's not right though, is it? It's not really right. So we get all of that. We get a lot of build up towards Daenerys and Jon and Cersei's meeting. It seems like it's going to be a really great payoff. But this episode, like a lot of episodes, is quite slow. But this time I really liked it. Just seeing Jon and Daenerys interact with each other. There wasn't a lot of them actually together. Like, you never really saw a shot of them standing together. It was all sort of dialogue. They were talking to each other, but you never really saw them standing there and interacting like you'd want to, if you know what I mean. But it's just really nice to see them together now. I mean, like I said, I don't think Daenerys is really a great fleshed out character, but seeing her with a great fleshed out character like Jon, it was just good. It was nice to see. Also, we do get the return of Bran Stark to Sansa. So obviously he sort of disappeared for the second episode, like the entirety of it, and he had a really short part in the first episode. In this one, he comes back and he finds Sansa. And obviously when that happened, I was thinking Arya. I was like, yeah, they're gonna meet up. They're gonna meet up with Jon. They're gonna storm, Casterly Rock. But they never do, because Arya hasn't come back. I mean, she's not actually in this episode at all, which I thought was kind of odd because she played quite a big part in the last 2 episodes. But yeah, so Bran is reunited with Sansa. I mean, even though Bran's not exactly the greatest character in the show, it is really nice to see 2 Starks get reunited, because of course there's not a lot of them left. I think there's probably about 3 of them left, if I'm right. If you're including Jon, then 4. So there's not really a lot of them left, so seeing 2 Starks reunited is just really nice to see. But I really wanted Arya to find Jon in this episode. I mean, it's kind of impossible because it's kind of a nice conflict, really, because Jon says that he feels like he's taken prisoner on Dragonstone, and obviously Arya can't really go to him there. But at the same time, Tyrion makes a point in this episode where he's like, "You're not prisoner though, because like you have the freedom to go places, you have the freedom to do what you want." And then Jon's sort of like, "Well, I don't have my boat. I'm forced to stay here." And it's like, yeah, they've both got pretty good points. So it's kind of a conflict there. But it was just interesting. It's like, is Jon prisoner? Is Daenerys taking him prisoner? Is she gonna double cross him? What's gonna happen? It's interesting. I do want to see how that plays out. And yeah, Samuel Tarly comes back in this episode also. We see that Jorah has been fully healed, I guess. You know, the grayscale's gone. But there was a really sort of on edge scene where I was thinking, I hope this doesn't play out, but I've heard theories. There's a bit when Sam shakes Jorah's hand, and people are saying that they think Sam's gonna get grayscale, and that's how he's gonna go out. And it's like, I really, really hope not. But seeing that scene, it's like, it's gotta be there for a reason, right? And it's making me really on edge. But yeah, so Jim Broadbent's character takes him in and he's like, "Did you heal him without, consulting me? I told you couldn't do that." And he's like, "Well, yeah." And I was sort of thinking, Sam's pretty much going to get kicked out of the Citadel, isn't he? But no, Jim Broadbent's like, "It's cool, I'm proud of you. You should be proud of yourself. But I'm not going to give you a reward. Your reward is not getting kicked out." But the final scene is the most powerful scene and it was just the most holy fuck moment of probably the entire season so far, to be fair. Apart from that awesome fight at the end of episode 2, this was really like, fuck. So Castle Rock is stormed, the Unsullied are there, Grey Worm's taking out all these dudes. It was kind of a weird scene because they really cut out a lot of the action in the scene, and it mostly focuses on Jaime. But when Jaime goes in, he goes into Olenna's, well, I guess, like, it's like a kitchen room, I don't know. He goes into her room, and he pours her a glass of wine, he pours himself a glass of wine, and they're talking. And it's really on edge. They're talking about Joffrey, and she's like, "Yeah, he really is a cunt, isn't he?" And it's like, something's gonna happen here, and I don't know what, but something is definitely going to go down here. And obviously she gets poisoned by Jaime, so she drinks that because well, she's gonna die anyway, so why not? And just as she drinks it, she says to Jaime, she's like, "Yeah, I did it. I killed Joffrey. It was all me. Fuck you. Let Cersei know. I want Cersei to know who did it." And it's like, Olenna's gone out like an absolute G. She's gone out like a boss. And it's like, that has got to be the most savage but boss-like death in the series so far. It was awesome. So to end the episode like that, such a big reveal, because I still thought it was Littlefinger. It was such a fucking big reveal, and it was like, yeah, I cannot wait to see how this plays out. Obviously, Cersei's gonna find out what's her reaction gonna be. Obviously, she can't do much now because Olenna's dead, but it's like, something's gonna happen in the next episode, and I'm looking forward to seeing it. I damn well am. So, that's a recap / review of the latest episode, The Queen's Justice, is it called? I think it's called that. I'll put the correct title in the thing, whatever it is, but I'm pretty sure that was it. So, thank you guys for watching this video. Let me know what you thought of the latest episode of Game of Thrones and how excited are you for episode 4. Probably a lot if you're watching this video. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you very soon. Goodbye.